Good evening.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody at home. Welcome to the mayor and council meeting. It's so nice to have people sitting in our chairs. It is combined work and regular session, April 10th, 2025. I was going to say, Michelle, Dottie, can you please?
Wow, that's a throwback.
I know. Okay, no, it's not Linda. Will you please read the Open Public Meetings Act announcement and call the meeting to order?
Yes. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, the notice requirements have been satisfied. The meeting dates for the year were confirmed at the annual meeting, posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building and on the borough website. They were published in the record within the first 10 days of the new year, and copies were sent to the Ridgewood News and Star Ledger. Notice of this meeting, as per the April 4th, 2025 Sunshine Notice, went to the record, the Ridgewood News, and Star Ledger, and has been posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building and on the borough website. Councilman Yacarino.
Here.
Councilman O'Toole.
Here.
Councilwoman Homan. Councilwoman Lovasello.
Here.
Councilman DeLuisio. Oh, hold on. Let's get them on. Oh, no, that's not her. Councilman O'Connell.
Here.
Mayor Wilczynski.
Here. Please rise and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right. We have a very big meeting today. Lots going on. First, I'd like to have approval of our minutes, work and regular session, March 13, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Councilman Yacarino.
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lovasello.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell.
Yes.
So moved.
All right. Next, we have a proclamation. I'm going to read the proclamation first, then I'm going to go over the agenda review. So this is a proclamation recognizing April 9th as an Education and Sharing Day in the borough of Allendale. Whereas the basis for continuity of any society is education. And in the great state of New Jersey, the education of our youth is a priority. And whereas in order to achieve its highest goals, education must not only impart knowledge, but also teach the students how to live, forming and strengthening their moral character to make a better life for themselves as individuals and for society as a whole. Imparting moral and ethic values that have been the bedrock of society since the dawn of civilization, including the values known as the 7 Noahide laws. And whereas a global spiritual leader and leading advocate for the advancement of education, Rabbi Lubavitch, Rabbi Menachem Schneerson, a righteous memory, stressed that a moral and ethical education empowers every individual to develop their full potential in making the world a better place. And whereas such an education can nurture the unity of diverse people through encouraging increased acts of goodness and kindness, imbued with awareness that even a single positive act of an individual can change the world and usher in an era of global peace. Whereas April 9th, 2025 will mark 123 years since Rebbe's birth and marks the 75th anniversary of his leadership at Chabad Lubavitch movement. Thank you. Chabad is an acronym of 3 Hebrew words: wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. The Lubavitch comes from the city which served as the movement's headquarters for over a century and means city of love. All of the ethical values which inform our civilization, none is more important than love. Love of wisdom, love of our fellow man, love of our creator. These values have guided Chabad Lubavitch movement throughout its history. Say it wrong again. And the essence of education at its best, and we should be certain to pass on this precious heritage to all young Americans. And whereas Education and Sharing Day is observed each year on the Rebbe's birthday, in recognition of his outstanding and lasting contributions towards the improvement of education morality and acts of charity around the world. A day to pause and reflect on our responsibility to ensure our youth have the foundation necessary to lead lives rich in purpose and fulfillment through service and good works. Now, therefore, I, Amy Wilzinski, the mayor of the Borough of Allendale, do hereby proclaim April 9th, 2025 to be Education and Sharing Day in the Borough of Allendale, New Jersey, and call upon everyone to work together to create a brighter, better, more promising future for all. Oh, mouthful.
Yay.
Okay. That was
The
probably the
education,
longest
sure.
proclamation I've ever read, but that was actually lovely. Okay. So next, I'm going to review the agenda items. We have a reintroduction to an ordinance. This is ordinance 25-07A. We are amending our building code for accessory structures. Currently, right now, our side yard for accessory structures is only 7 feet, and we have a lot of residents building massive 2-story buildings. So in order to keep proper space and the character of the town, we're just amending the ordinance to have a little bit more space between accessory structures and their neighbor's yard. One of our resolutions is Bergen County Open Space Grant application. So we will be going in for our second grant for the tennis court rehabilitation up at Crestwood Lake. And our consent agenda are matters that are considered routine, and we actually enact them in one motion, but we have a lot of really good stuff on the consent agenda, so there's a few things I need to point out. We have a final approval of a payment for our streetscape phases 4 and 5. We have one more phase left to go that we'll be putting in another grant for. We have a change order for the Crestwood Park concession stand. If everybody's seen it, it's actually, the roof is on now, it looks great. This was a change order for the change in the siding and a few other things. We are also approving the contract for the reassessment appraisal company. We do a reassessment every year, and their contract is up, so we're going to be renewing it because this is the most fair way to provide reassessments for tax purposes. Then we have a resolution entering into an agreement authorizing affordable housing, fair share housing, and the borough to agree on a prospective 4th round number. And I just need to spend a moment on this. Initially, as I reported in the past, our numbers were, our prospective need were 260 affordable units, and our present need number was 186. Prospective need is numbers that we would have to build in the next 10 years. At a number like 260, you have to take that number and multiply it by 5 because no builder just builds affordable housing only unless you subsidize them. The present need is another interesting number where they said that we have 186 units in Allendale that lack plumbing and bathrooms. We haven't found them yet, but that's the number that they gave us. When we have these numbers, and there's a formula that they used, it's based on income analysis, which is a number that was based on data that they had from the census, the residential and commercial analysis, which was verified with our tax assessor, and land capacity. The only component out of those 3 that we could challenge was the land capacity. And we challenged it because, quite frankly, their data was incorrect. They said we had approximately, I think it was 25 buildable acres, and in fact, we had not even a third of that. So we challenged that, and the process is when you challenge it, you're assigned a special adjudicator, and you're assigned a retired Superior Court judge. And of course, we were challenged by Fair Share Housing, and just to make it more fun, the Builders Association came and also challenged. So there was a process that we went through. Councilwoman Suzanne Lovasolo sat in on it. There was a lot of back and forth. They had an argument with one of our pieces of land. When we sold our water system to Veolia, there was a parcel of land that was surrounding the water tower that we actually sold with it. But since the sale just went a couple of years ago, it was actually the deed, the meets and bounds were not recorded by the county yet, so they challenged that. So they want to try to reclaim that land. We will not be able to build on it, but however, that did alter our numbers. So with a lot of back and forth, we actually went from 260 and had a number of 200. The number that we were trying to aim for was, I think, around 182 or 186. That was with including the water property, but they didn't want to go below 200. They had like 200 in their head for some reason, which again, if you're using data and a formula, I don't know why they wouldn't have an exact number, but it was a little frustrating, but we did everything that we were supposed to do. We had a great team and planners and attorneys, and Councilwoman Lovasolo is also on the team. And this is the number that we came out with, and it was about 20 to 24% lower than what they initially gave us. So that, is a win. A lot of other municipalities settled for what the Builders Association was offering, which was 4%. So to be continued. So now the next phase is that we have to find out where we're going to actually build some of these units and have a more solid plan. So these are just numbers. We really don't know how we're going to effectuate them out yet. So that's the next phase. So that's Resolution 25-18. So that's a big one. Resolution 25-119, we actually increased our Crestwood Lake fees moderately. We haven't increased these, I think, in what, 4 years?
2020 before
5 years.
before 2020. So
Yeah,
it's been some time.
so it's time.
And we did a lot of cross comparison with towns. We're very competitive.
Yes, we are, and our lake is actually the best lake around. So yeah. And then we also we're authorizing maintenance for some work on Rosmus Court from a resident, and also in the realm of fair share housing, we are allowing the borough to spend $90,000 from its Affordable Housing Trust Fund to rehabilitate the property at 98 Elm Street. I'm sure all the police officers are very happy they won't have to go to that building anymore, that address. So, and then, of course, we have our swearing in of our new police officer, which will be the highlight of the evening. All right. So now I would like to open up the meeting for public comment on agenda items only. Does anybody? Walter, come on up. Have my it gets out of control.
Can you bring those to land use?
Walter Wood, Administrator Hamilton. I hate to do this to all these people here, but there's so many items on this list which I don't understand.
Yeah, I get it. It's the fair share housing piece is extremely complicated. But I'm happy to sit down and talk to you about it if you want more
How much
explanation.
available land do we have?
We have about 7 acres, I think it came to, is the final number. But it's not available. There's buildings on it, but it's just kind of buildings with open space, and they count that. They look at a big map, they look at green areas, and they're like, you can build on here, you can build on here.
Who's they?
Fair Share Housing, they are an advocacy group that is not elected, but they have a lot of power. Trying to do that with a shake face.
Ray, is that all right?
I'm trying to understand it.
Yeah,
I
it's,
don't subject them to this. You know, then you have another one here. I lost. I lost it. I'd love to talk to somebody about it.
We'd be
yeah,
happy to,
I'd be happy
Walter.
to chat with you offline.
Can we discuss this at another meeting?
I wouldn't discuss it in a public meeting, but why don't you call me and we'll discuss it? We'll sit down and chat over a cup of coffee.
You want to put up with it? Thank you.
Anybody else from the public wish to speak on any agenda items?
Yeah.
Not seeing anybody, let's bring it back. Introduction of ordinance 25-07A. Dottie, will you please read this ordinance?
Ordinance 25-07A, an ordinance to amend, supplement, and revise the code of the Borough of Allendale accessory buildings, Chapter 270-14A. Councilman Yakarino.
Yes.
Are we doing that? Oh,
So moved.
No, sorry.
who's moving?
I'd like to, I'd like to make a motion, to somebody to, introduce ordinance 25-07A.
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Now, Councilman Yakarino.
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole.
Yes.
Councilwoman Homan. Councilman Lovasolo.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell.
Yes.
So moved.
Okay. Next, we have resolution, 25-114. Dottie, will you please read this resolution?
Resolution 25-114, resolution authorizing the Borough of Allendale to submit a grant application to the 2025 Bergen County Open Space Trust Fund for Municipal Park Improvements, Crestwood Park Improvements Tennis Court.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Roll call. O'Connell. I mean, O'Toole.
Councilman Yakarino.
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lovasolo.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell.
Yes.
Okay. Next, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Tyler and Ed.
Councilman Yakarino.
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Toole. Councilman O'Toole. Councilwoman Lovasolo.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell.
Yes.
Started off okay.
You're doing great, Dottie. You're doing
She's
great.
doing today, and she's doing fabulous. This is her first council meeting ever. All right. Okay, next, council reports. Councilman Yakarino.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of things that you already pointed out in the agenda. Most excitingly is the grant application for the Crestwood Park tennis courts. I've talked about this in the past. We're looking to work with engineering in the near future to really perform a full rehab of the tennis courts. Working with the Recreation Commission, we brought up at their last meeting to get some thoughts in terms of how we could best use that space and, you know, what's being used and kind of how we could best take advantage of that. The mayor also mentioned we continue to have our bi-weekly huddles for the concession stand, which is moving along. It really does look nice so far. If you're up in the area, please take a look at it. We're really moving at a good pace. We're very happy with how things are moving along. So that'll be ready for the summer. Also, Field 3, if you've driven past Brookside School, the field right outside the entrance to Borough Hall, in our partnership with the Allendale Recreation Commission, we received a full rehabilitation of the field, pretty much end-to-end. Sod went in this week. It really looks phenomenal. And our fields and with the DPW will receive a lot more maintenance as we restart our field maintenance program. We're looking to budget for that this year. So we're really excited to get our fields in top shape. And other than that, I think I'll leave it there for tonight. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Councilman O'Toole.
Thank you, Mayor. Public Safety Committee had a very productive and somewhat lengthy meeting last evening. We discussed some resident concerns which were sent to us via email, and I was happy to be able to get back to those residents this afternoon. We also talked about things like logistics for upcoming events like the ARC 5K in October. Our recently implemented 5-minute parking spot downtown seems to be working very well. I've noticed fewer vehicles double parked in the travel lane, and then those parked in the handicap spot with their 4-way flashers on as they just run in to pick up their orders from the restaurants. And as an aside to that, just a reminder, there's plenty of parking downtown in the lot by the Holiday Observers tree. More signage is forthcoming on that, but the space is there. And finally, we're thrilled this evening to swear in Anthony Carteniga as the newest member of the APD. Anthony, welcome. We know you're a great addition to the force, and we know that the residents will be as happy to have you on the force as those of us who've had a chance to get to know you a little bit. Congratulations. We're happy you're here. Thank you.
Super. Councilwoman Lovasolo.
Thank you, Mayor. Got a few things. First of all, congratulations to our new officer. Welcome to the Allendale team. As the mayor said, this really is the best part of our meetings when we get to celebrate some exceptional new talent. So congrats. Finance, HR, admin, and IT. Our budget newsletter is going out very shortly. We're really excited about that. Once again, Allendale has exceeded expectations, and we remain completely fiscally conservative, and we've even gotten kudos from our who do we get kudos from
Auditor.
recently? Or from our auditor on how great our budget looks. So many thanks to Allison Altano and our finance team. It's a good-looking budget. I'm going to, unfortunately, it's one of the handful of meetings I've missed in 4 years, but I'll be missing our adoption of the budget at our next council meeting. But that would be a good meeting to come to for people interested in finding out more about our budget. We've started the process of looking at our capital requests. So, yeah. Tyler's all excited about that. Land use, there's a lot going on. The restaurants in town are starting to submit their outdoor dining plans to us. As a reminder to our restaurants, you cannot put out your tables and chairs until your application for outdoor dining has been approved by Anthony Hackett. All tables and chairs must appear in your sketch of your outdoor plan. We've been updating our filming fees for companies interested in using Allendale as a possible shoot location. And we continue to address individual property issues and challenges. Things that have been going on since our last mayor and council meeting, the Green Team met. We're gearing up for a spring cleanup environmental day on Saturday, May 3rd. We will have our usual collections for recycling, including also electronics and styrofoam, as well as our paper shredding that everyone loves. And a litter cleanup is going to be taking place in town in conjunction with Northern Highland students. As the mayor mentioned, we settled our 4th round numbers, which are still ludicrous, but less than what they initially proposed. And just a reminder for election, if you care about fighting the overdevelopment and desecration of our small towns in New Jersey, please make sure you take a look at where your candidates stand on these types of numbers. The mayor and I met with Mr. Beckerman from the high school to hear about their budget proposal for the year. I attended the department head meeting that the mayor had started, which is always a great thing. It gives an opportunity for us to get together with our department heads, our construction, DPW, finance, clerk's office, our police, and our library. I always learn a lot at those. Our Shade Tree Committee met at the community center. Currently, we have 3 members with experience. We are also joined by the mayor and Councilman Yacarino. As many of you know, we used to have a shade tree commission in town that kind of petered out as people moved and retired. And the commission was actually replaced by a hired tree expert and arborist. But many of us felt strongly about having a few residents insist in some of the tree-related endeavors that we face in town. So we do have a committee that's up and running. We'll be reviewing our code as it pertains to trees and shade trees and making some suggestions to that. They've already suggested removing, Norway maples from shade trees. We'll also be looking for opportunities to enhance our borough with planting suggestions as well as tree removal and pruning suggestions. The committee also submitted a sketch idea for the entrance and path to Crestwood. And while we don't have the budget for that this year, it is something we are looking forward to doing in the near future. We met with some of the members of the Holiday Observers and getting ready for our nation's 250th celebration next year. We are encouraging our residents, organizations, and businesses to think of some events they may want to add to the calendar for 2026. And finally, a little library update. For adults this month, we have the first of our cultural music programs, Music from China, at the Community Center on Sunday, April 13th. There will be a total of 4 programs throughout the year that are funded by a Bergen County Arts Grant. The library is also featuring a health education program, Healthy Eating on a Budget, on April 23rd, and a scrapbooking workshop on the 30th. This week is Library Week, and the theme this year is Drawn to the Library. On Friday, the library is having a program for the kids where they will draw comics, expressing what they like best about the library. Next week, the library is hosting the second of their Snack Around the World series programs. The kids learn about the country through their snacks that they get to sample and make a craft related to that country. This month, the featured country is Peru. And then on April 24th, the library is having a very special event. Their children's assistant, Anna Kang, is releasing her 12th children's picture book, Sohi and Lowie. The library is excited to be hosting a story time where Anna will read her book and the children will make a cute snake that looks like Lowie. And the library will also be hosting, for newcomers to town, another newcomers event where you get to mingle with new families in town. Also, people just looking to meet and hang out can also attend that as well. I think it's in May, right? And that is it.
That's a lot.
All in one breath.
I know.
All right, Councilman O'Connell.
Thank you so much, Mayor. Continuing to help the Three Scouts try to obtain their Eagle Scout project. I'm sorry that I had to bother you so often with the
Quite all
bumps in the
right.
road.
Quite all right.
I was honored to attend West Point for Charlie Peruzzi's Eagle Scout Award with Chief Dillon and the mayor. I was wowed when all the Eagles came up. There must have been over 50 Eagles
Wow.
that were there, and a room filled with 170 people, I guess.
Yeah.
It was quite impressive. I was happy to go. Two announcements: the Holiday Observers Easter egg hunt scheduled for Saturday will now be Sunday at 2 p.m. And the last thing was I enjoyed myself immensely at the AVAC scavenger hunt. It was quite a lot of fun, and I suggest everybody attend because we were laughing most of the time during that event. So it was good. That's all I have, Mayor.
All right. So next we have our professional reports. Dottie, do you have a report?
From the clerk's office, April 29th is the beginning of Crestwood Lake registration. The clerk will have late nights on May 8th and May 20th. Linda also wanted to remind everyone that May 20th is the last day to register for the primary election, and May 20th also will be the satellite clerk at the community center
Okay.
from 10 to 2.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Chief Dillon.
Oh, thank you, Madam Mayor. Another great night for our department and borough. Thank you for your unwavering support of our officers and staff. I'm looking forward to seeing our department continue to grow and know that Anthony will be welcomed by our residents and a great fit for our community.
Lieutenant Griffith, do you have any comments?
Just echo what the chief said.
All righty. Ray West, Borough Attorney.
Yeah, briefly, Mayor, in addition to working with the administrator and clerk on various items, some of which are on tonight's agenda, most of the last 2 weeks was involved, unfortunately, in litigation and pre-litigation matters. More specifically, today we had a 2-hour oral argument on in order to show cause. That involves the Avalon project, which is a 275-unit project on Allendale's border located in Saddle River. The issue there is sewer effluent. Saddle River, as you may know, does not have its own sewer system. This developer is litigating with us over its ability or right to use our system as part of its development. The judge has basically reserved all decision on it, is looking for some supplemental engineering submissions, and probably will put us back on his calendar about 30 days down the road. Relatedly, we've been involved with another developer in Saddle River that has 2 projects on the board, about 100 additional units, all of which are likewise seeking to use Allendale's sewer system as part of their development. Right now, that is in the discussion stages, but could also wind up similar to the Avalon project in litigation mode in the near future. We also have an issue involving our water treatment facility for PFAS, involving one of the local residents in the placement of that facility. That matter is also in litigation now, involving both the borough and Veolia. And we have our ongoing work with Veolia with respect to implementation of the contract of sale and easements and things related there too. That's it.
Thank you very much. I'm going to make my report very short because everybody else pretty much explained everything that's going on, which, as you can see, we have a lot going on in a little town. I just wanted to talk about our community center real quickly. The community center is doing great. Borough Hall has been amazing to facilitate the opening and running of this. We're starting to have some community programs. One is going to be a passport program where people can come and get their passports. And another, we're going to have specialists come teaching residents how to do their wills. So 2 very important topics, well, passports if you're traveling. And I look forward in the next session to welcome Anthony Cardaniga. We talked all about our affordable housing and all the issues that we're having with that, but Allendale remains committed to being compliant. We remain committed to supplying affordable housing, and we remain committed to trying to protect Allendale and the character of Allendale the best that we can. So. And I want to thank all the police officers. I was going to name you all, but there's like the whole force is here. This is so awesome to see you all. So thanks you guys all for coming. And next we have the swearing in. So come on up. Oh. Before I swear you in, I have Resolution 125-124 to authorize me to swear in police officer Anthony Cardaniga. Do I have a motion?
O'Toole.
Second?
Second.
All righty. Roll call?
Councilman Yakarino.
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lovasolo.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell.
Yes.
That's okay.
Where you going?
I don't know. Might be. All right. Who's gonna, hold the Bible?
Wife is coming.
Here. Here, that's part of the Bible. Right. So repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Anthony Cardaniga,
Do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same,
and to the government established
to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of Allendale Police Officer
all the duties of Allendale Police Officer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Like putting on the prom.
Corsage.
Corsage.
Post it up here.
Works with a big camera in your face, it doesn't make it any easier. You guys want to come out for pictures?
Nope.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get your dive in. Gotta get pictures of Todd. All right, Todd, you wanna do it first, and then we'll take a picture with you in there? You wanna do it all together?
I'm not. Oh, I'm doing a lot.
All right. You're gonna send in a lot of. Oh, come on. All right. Excuse me, not it. Welcome, Todd. I don't. 1, 2, 3. Probably should have Tyler do the business camera. All right. The table's perfect. Oh, did I get you? Yeah. All right, cool.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, I want to picture with all the guys. Thank you, and Jamie.
Here,
Yeah. No, I'm gonna take a photo. Wait, now you guys.
You're cutting me off completely. All guys.
Perfect. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful.
Thank you.
We're just wrapping the meeting. Thanks, guys.
How you feeling, Joe?
Yeah, well. Yeah. I'm not gonna take it yet unless I have to. I just needed it.
Nice.
Very nice.
I don't think we're. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, we're nice.
All right, I would like to open the meeting to the public on comments on anything. Anything anybody wants to talk about? Come on up.
I did have a resident send an email and they wanted to mention their support of what was mentioned at last council meeting with the 6-foot fences. on the
Oh, okay.
backs and sides
Okay,
of
we have that on the
residential-
land use committee agenda to talk about. We're going to review that ordinance. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Mike. All right, Walter, come on up. Please state your name and address.
I'm Walter Woodman, 38 Hamilton. With all the complaints I've been issuing about the hum,
Mm.
I want to compliment you for getting rid of it.
Well, it just came
I can understand everything you said.
That's great.
All right,
Well, now it's
excellent.
3 cheers.
Okay. Unplug that then.
Now we know where it's coming from.
Wait
I
for it.
know.
Anybody else from the public would like to speak on any matter? Not seeing anybody, I'm going to bring the meeting back. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor.